Welcome back. It's time to unlock the vault, open up the vaults, and bring up some boxing history where we get a little opportunity to educate you guys on things that you may or may not have known about our beautiful sport. Let's go right off the top. Let's do some birthdays. We've got April 4th, Mr. Merciless Ray Mercer.
Woo!
Geez, 61 years old. Happy birthday, Ray Mercer.
Happy birthday, Ray Mercer. Moment.
Do it. What are you going to talk about? I know what you're going to talk about.
When he beat the bejesus.
Tommy Morrison.
He
Killed Tommy Morrison.
He beat the
Bro. But no, dog. Listen, I saw a Ray Mercer interview, right? I saw a Ray Mercer interview that was great. Listen, he said he knew. You still laughing? I'm sorry. Everybody was talking. All right, listen. Let's keep it going, man. Listen, no, keep it going. Listen, Ray Mercer had an interview. He said his partner, his coach, somebody could tell that Tommy Morrison was juicing, which could very well be the case. I mean, I think he tested positive. But anyhow, they said the game plan is to go in there and let them steroids wear off. And in the 5th round, we'll put him away. And that's exactly what they did. Ray Mercer was losing that fight.
Oh, okay.
And he started seeing it, bro. He murdered Tommy Moore, dog.
So
you remember that?
I thought he was going to kill. Like, that's the first tragedy you thought you would actually see in the boxing.
100%. I thought he was dead. I was a little bitty boy. I was watching, because I liked Tommy Morrison. And I was like, Dad, turn this shit off, man. This guy's dying.
Like, come on, man. If you grew up on them Rocky movies.
Tommy Gunn, right?
Duke,
Tommy Gunn.
You see Duke, like in Rocky 5, he was a part of you.
Yep.
And like,
boy, Ray Mercer.
To see him take a, that's when you knew Rocky was fictional.
Hell yeah.
Boxing was real.
Do me a favor, go check out Ray Mercer versus Tommy Morrison, 5th round.
Let's get into it, man.
Yeah,
April the 5th, man. Shout out to Kelly the Ghost Pavlik, man. Shout out to Kelly Pavlik, man. You know, he did the unthinkable. He won the Cleveland's finest when he shocked the world and beat Jermaine Taylor. You know, that was just unthinkable, you know, because Jermaine Taylor was at the all-time high. But, you know, you heard stories of, you heard Leonard Ellaby of Mayweather Promotions come out, you know, not being racist, but he say, man, y'all better stop talking about Kelly Pavlik. That white boy could fight.
Yeah.
He said that white boy came to all the gyms and beat up all the black fighters. So shout out to Kelly Pavlik. Happy birthday.
40 years old, bro. It's a big 40. Enjoy it. I will say, to your point, he's from Youngstown, right? Youngstown, Ohio. Kelly Pavlik breathes boxing. He breathes it, lives it, breathes it. He still coaches it. So, and you can see it in his style of fighting. So, shout out to Mr. Pavlik, the Ghost, 40 years old.
We're looking forward to getting you on the podcast real soon.
It's about time for us to get you on the show, Kelly. We had a chance actually to kick with him over at the at Don King Ranch.
And then another thing Kelly Pavlik do, you know, y'all make sure y'all go.
Oh yeah, check out his podcast,
his Instagram. Also, because he always giving out tips about boxing. And when you got a guy who done did as much as Kelly Pavlik did, if you're a young fighter out there, y'all need to take heed on that.
For sure. What else we got next?
Oh, we got Julian J. Rock Williams. Also, April the 5th. He turned a big 3-2.
32
Happy
years
birthday,
old.
J. Rock. Like, one thing about J. Rock did the unthinkable too. Like, this is the guy who did the unthinkable. This was when everybody was looking at Jerry Hurd like he was different because he was that guy at 154. We didn't think this guy and Julian Williams was going to beat this guy up.
Bad. Yeah, that was
like
convincing.
He did. Like, that was a convincing ass whooping. Julian J. Rock Williams, you know, he said it's stone in history, you know, becoming unified champion with a badass victory like that, which nobody, like, them the type of fights right there, Jay. Like, when you don't really know about the guy, you see his record and stuff, but the other guy is just so favorite. Like, you wish you would have put some on the betting odds for a guy like that in J-Rock. Shout out to him.
Happy birthday, Mr. Williams, 32 years old. And then now, a big one. Speaking of shocking the world.
Ooh, it's crazy.
You want to say it or do I say it? This guy broke. He was the first man to break my heart. Sorry. James Buster Douglas. Was it 42-1 odds? 42-1 odds. You want to talk about shocking the world. This is arguably the biggest upset in the history of sports. Not boxing, not UFC, not the history of sports. When James Buster Douglas, April 7th, 62 years old, happy birthday, sir, came out and shocked the world. I mean, you talking about the world's baddest man.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson.
Right, it wasn't
Buster Douglas
close.
was a nobody. This fight was supposed to be setting up him in Holyfield. Buster Douglas' mama passed away. He was motivated. He wasn't doing coke. He wasn't banging prostitutes the week of. And boy, he put on a clinic. That was, bro. What are your thoughts on Buster Douglas? That hurt my heart.
It's just say what you say about him messing up like the biggest money fight at the time with Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. I just feel so bad for Evander Holyfield.
Me too,
even
dog.
though
You remember his face on the side?
Yeah, even though he got some money back by fighting Tyson twice, but I don't think it would have been as big as the money he would have got then. That was just heartbreaking to see Evander Holyfield at the fight, knowing Tyson got
yeah, all you got to do is whip this guy. I never heard of him.
And just to see Buster Douglas inspired. Because you know it's things that inspire you, especially tragedies like you spoke on earlier of his mama passing away. God bless her soul. You know he came out there. He did that for his mama.
He promised her he was gonna take it. And dog, who saw that coming? Not a single person.
He did that for his mama.
You could talk about the long count because Mike Tyson dropped him 8th or 9th round. You could say it was a long count. It doesn't matter. Mike Tyson was getting dominated the whole fight, and then he got. Dog, I'll never forget. I just want to tell a quick story. When Mike Tyson was walking out to the ring, I was 5 years old, bro. And my dad, I was scared for some reason. I don't know why. Because I loved Mike Tyson, but I was scared. My dad was like, don't be silly. Like, this guy's a nobody. My dad told me that, made me feel better. And then Buster Douglas, man, he went against all odds. If you bet on Douglas, you got paid that day. And kudos to you, bro, because you showed that if you believe in yourself, you showed that if you're not scared, because he wasn't scared of Mike, and that was the biggest difference. He went in there and he made history, brother. So
and shout out to Buster Douglas, and let's get to our next one. And speaking of, we brought up Evander Holyfield. You know him.
Oh yeah, some events.
The look that's the look that you need to do. That's a meme look that you need to do when Buster Douglas beat Tyson. That's a meme we need to put up going forward. But speaking of Evander Holyfield,
April 9th. Yeah.
April 9th, 1988, Holyfield defeats Carlos de Leon to become the first ever undisputed cruiserweight champ in history. So shout out to Evander Holyfield.
I think Holyfield.
That was a momentous
it was, bro.
moment, you know, like game changer. You like when you the first to do something. Bro. You remember like when I said, well, everybody talk about Andy Ruiz being the first Mexican.
Bro, and here's real quick on Holyfield. Holyfield, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated. Let's take away the PED allegations. I'm talking about pure boxing skills. I think he's one of the most underrated heavyweights to ever fight, bro, because people talk about him, but they don't talk about him like they talk about the Alis, the Tysons, even Wilder now. Like, Holyfield I love watching him box, bro.
But you can't tell me he wasn't headbutting Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bro, he was headbutting Mike. I ain't saying it was warranted. You know, Mike Tyson biting his ear. You know, but he was using his head. No, everybody, y'all know he was using his head. Yeah. Like, and you know, like.
And what Mike say after the fight? I gotta go to my children. I gotta see my children. I look like a monster. I had to bite his ear. Anyway, all right. Congratulations, becoming the first ever undisputed cruiserweight champ. And then we got a big, big anniversary, April 6, 1987. If you haven't watched it, go get on YouTube. But Sugar Ray Leonard, 3-1 underdog, goes in there and beats Marvin Hagler by split decision. Mm-hmm. Ring Magazine called it the upset of the year, and then they eventually put it to upset of the decade. A lot of controversy that fight. Hagler never fought again after it. Thoughts?
I mean, give it up to Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, coming off that, he had been out for like 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. He had been out for a long time. Came back, took that fight, you know, and he won it fighting in 30-second spurts. You know, I'm gonna live to that. You know, I thought Marvin Hagler won that fight, clearly.
Hagler,
you know, I ain't saying that Sugar Ray Leonard didn't have his moments, but that's the first time you ever seen the fight where a guy win a fight off 30-second spurts. It's 3 minutes in the round. And if you go back and watch that fight and look at it clearly, no debating, you will see in a lot of them rounds, hurry up in the last 30 seconds, those spurts. And a lot of the judges back then, they got fooled by their eyes and they just forgot what happened the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds before that. Not saying that it wasn't a good fight. I just thought that's the first time you've seen a guy win on 30-second spurts.
Well, Sugar Ray was the golden boy of America, bro. Like he was like what OJ Simpson was in the NFL before he lost his shit. The white folks loved him. The black folks loved him. He was just like the golden boy of boxing, the media guy, the commercials, everything. So when he came back to fight Hagler, you know, people were excited. Hagler had been champ for a long time now at that point, but you gotta realize, bro, the mental part of it. Every time Sugar Ray Leonard did something, crowd went nuts because they loved him. And the judges. I think the fight could have gone either way. I'm not one of the guys that said that Hagler lost that or won that fight. Period. Damn good fight.
I know.
Yeah. Sugar Ray Leonard did his thing. Upset of the decade. One of Sugar Ray Leonard's many awesome comebacks. So kudos to you. Again, check it out because it's historical. Those guys in the 80s were. If y'all are just watching boxing now, there was nothing like what happened in the 80s between Hearns, Hagler, Duran, and Leonard. Go back and check it out. Watch the Hagler.
And that was so historical. That's like one of the most historical things that boxing fans, casual fans, historians gonna talk about for the rest of their life. That's one of them moments in boxing, right?
Oh, yeah.
JJ Solomon, that's gonna be talked about forever.
Well, shit, when we were on the beach in Florida, that was one of the fights that kept coming up. Well, I like Hagler Hearns. I mean, not Hagler Hearns, Hagler Leonard. But anyhow, that's this week in boxing history. Go check it out.